From the octagon fire to the studio mics, tune in weekly, we're dropping the spikes, analyzing every punch, every kick that lands. Maniacs in the game, playing with fans' demands. Ken's got the insight, Joe's got the flair, mapping out the fights will take you anywhere. So grab your popcorn, buckle up tight.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's up? What's up? Back again, MMAniacs podcast. Joined as always by my buddy Bare Knuckle Ken. What's going on, dude?
What's up, buddy? And that just reminded me, I got to change the name for the show.
What do you mean?
My name.
Well, yeah. If you didn't know, Ken's a Packer fan. So, yeah, man. We got the big card this weekend.
It's this weekend? I completely fucking spaced.
Yeah, the Verna Mackenzie Dern and Tom Aspinall card. So we'll pick our winners on that card. But matter of fact, we'll do that first. So what's up to anyone in the chat? Feel free to drop us a comment if you have questions or just something you want to say. We have an open forum here. So we got Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gahn. We've talked about this a little bit. I don't think either one of us is picking Cyril Gahn, right?
No.
Yeah. I mean, are you excited for this fight at all?
I mean, I'm excited to be able to see Aspinall defend his belt. Hey, yep. And Ken brings up a good point. We are now on a new social media platform of Rumble too.
So we're on Rumble, YouTube, and X?
Yep.
And then Huddle Sports? Nice. So what's up to everybody on Rumble? Feel free to drop us a comment. So I'm with you on this one. I'm only excited for this fight to see Aspinall defend his title for the first time. I expect him to do so in dominant fashion. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of suspense with this one. I mean, Gahn is a capable striker, but I don't feel like he's on the level of Aspinall. And if Aspinall chooses to wrestle, I mean, we saw what John Jones was able to do to Gahn. Aspinall, I think, is probably, if not just as capable, at least as close to as capable as John Jones in the wrestling department. So I expect a flatlining, dude. This is the fight that I'm actually excited for, right? Verna and Mackenzie Dern. I don't really feel like Mackenzie Dern deserves this shot. I mean, she's gone 5-4 in the last, few years. It seems to me like it's a belt grab. Like the UFC is trying to put a belt on Mackenzie because they want to create a new bankable star at strawweight. Mackenzie has got a following, but I don't really feel like she deserves the shot. But they put her against Verna, and it just so happens like during COVID they fought in the Apex Center, and I don't know if you got a chance to watch that fight, but I went back and watched it, and honestly, I was less than impressed with the decision. I mean, I felt like Verna did enough to win the fight, and they gave it to Mackenzie Dern by unanimous decision, 29-28. It was a close fight. It was a stand-up affair for most of it, right? Like there was a little bit of ground fighting, but not much. So, I mean, neither fighter is the same fighter they were that day, right? They have both had 5 years to develop. Mackenzie Dern is a capable striker. She has an aggressiveness about her. She managed to rock Verna one time. Verna hit her with some good, solid shots. I don't know if she necessarily rocked Mackenzie, but she She got her respect. How do you expect this fight to go? Do you think it's going to be another kickboxing match, or do you think it's going to be on the ground more this time?
I really hope and pray it's going to be on the ground because they're both very versatile on the ground. Where Verna, I think, is better with like the position or not position, the submission and that type of aspect. Where Mackenzie Dern is like a freaking stink that just latches on and will not let go and can go from crazy angles. That's why I'm hoping this one stays to the ground, at least for most of the fight. But in stand up, I don't know who I'd give the edge to really in stand up, honestly.
Well, after watching their first fight and watching like a couple of recent fights, I think I would give the slight edge in stand up to Mackenzie Dern, but only because of the power advantage. Like she managed to rock Verna in the first fight. Verna didn't really rock her, but Verna did a good job landing really good overhand rights. And her jab was pretty good. Mackenzie Dern had some success with body kicks. I agree with you. I hope that this fight is more on the ground because, everybody knows that Mackenzie Dern was a jiu-jitsu world champion, right? Like she won world titles in jiu-jitsu. But I don't think a lot of people know that Verna was also a jiu-jitsu world champion. So I think that casual fans, well, the casual fans who might actually know and be interested in this fight, or maybe even some actual, like dedicated fans who just maybe don't know a lot about the women's strawweight division, they might look at Mackenzie Dern and say, oh, she's a jiu-jitsu world champion. She's got to have the advantage. But they don't know that Verna is also a world champion too. So their jiu-jitsu is about as closely matched as you're going to get in a fight, which is why I kind of feel like they're going to stay away from it, but I really hope they don't, right? Like I want to see a high-level jiu-jitsu grappling match and see who pulls it off, right?
Who's the better practitioner that day? Would you almost feel cheated a little bit if it just stays stand up the whole time?
No, because their first fight was a slobber knocker, dude. They were getting after it, and I think that they'll do the same again. Especially, you got to think like I know that Verna's coming off like 5 straight wins. Mackenzie Dern is 5-4 in her last 9, but like Verna has to feel robbed in that first fight. She has to feel like I feel like I did enough to win. I feel like I beat her, but they raised her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's for the belt, and I get a chance to avenge this loss that I don't really feel is a loss, right? So I think Verna's going to come in with an intensity, and I think Mackenzie Dern is going to come in. I mean, this is her shot, man. Like, there's fighters that fight their whole career and don't get a title shot. She's getting a title shot, and she has to know that this is her best opportunity at a belt she's ever going to get. Because she doesn't have to go through Zhang for it. She has to go through Verna for it, right? Like I know Verna is a slight underdog in this fight. She's like a plus 140. But realistically, what do you think the odds on Mackenzie Dern versus Zhang Weili would be? Like
Zhang Weili 9 times out of 10. And the only time I'm giving her that one is Zhang Weili making some kind of stupid ass mistake. That's how much I believe in Zhang Weili.
Yeah, like I'm talking about the odds though, like the money line on that fight. Like Zhang Weili would have to be like a -5 to somewhere between a -5 to -700, dude, right? And Mackenzie Dern would be like a plus 800 or something crazy. Like, it just. Her odds would be super long, and that's what I mean. Is like realistically for Mackenzie Dern, this is the closest that you're going to get to a belt. Like you have a beatable opponent who you have a quote unquote victory over. You know, you're not having to fight Zhang for the belt. Like, the UFC has basically set the table for Mackenzie Dern, right? Now it's just, can Verna upset the dinner plans, you know?
Now, do you think with Verna getting that decision that didn't go her way, that this would lead to more of the thought process of that she should take it to the ground where she has a good chance to finish, or has a better chance to finish, versus, you know, keeping the stand up and putting it back in the judge's hands again?
You know, that's a very good question. Like, I think that there's definitely the possibility that she could see it that way, but I think there's also the possibility that when you're going to the ground with a fellow world champion jiu-jitsu practitioner, there's a chance that you end up in these stalemates where, like, let's say Mackenzie Dern ends up on top. Now you're spending the whole round in guard, and then it goes to the judges anyway. And then, you know, I really do. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but I'm not
Not one.
anti-conspiracy either.
Mm,
I really feel like if this goes to the cards, Mackenzie Dern is going to get it. Like, I feel like the UFC has made it clear they want to put the belt on Mackenzie because she's young, she's attractive, she's a bankable star, or she's on her way to being a bankable star. She has a following. Verna is not what you would call an attractive woman physically, but Verna is tough as nails, dude. And Verna really deserves it. But I just feel like if I'm Verna, this is where yes, to answer your question, yes, I think Verna should have an intensity and a sense of urgency to not let it go to the cards. But I think it's risky. I think going to the ground with Mackenzie Dern is risky because Mackenzie is a world champ, you know? So you could make that one mistake and leave your arm in and you could get armbarred, or Mackenzie could create a scramble where she gets an advantageous position and now you're spending the whole round with her on your back. Like, I think Verna's defense is good enough that if Mackenzie Dern was able to, you know, get her back or something, that, you know, Verna could stay, she could avoid getting choked, but it's like you still just spent the whole round in, you know, with somebody on your back. That's a 10-9, possibly even a 10-8, depending on how close to a submission she gets. So it's a risky strategy. Verna did well enough on the feet that I think she can hang with Mackenzie Dern.
yeah, but and this is my own philosophy that I'm injecting into here, is I would much rather go to the ground and believe in my skill set, that I'm the better practitioner here, than give that chance for the judges to quote unquote rob you. I I would feel much better knowing, hey, I made a mistake, I got myself choked out, armbarred, whatever, and I could live with that, versus I sat here, kind of played it safe to a bit, knowing that there was a chance that I could get robbed and still let it happen.
Yeah, but that's assuming that the stand up is just a technical kind of nobody gets hurt kind of fight, you know, where it's like we're just scoring shots.
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie was able to rock Verna. Verna landed some really good shots, earned Mackenzie's respect. Anything can happen in a stand up fight in one punch. So maybe Verna is thinking like, I'm going to try to get that one that stumbles her just a bit so that I can jump on her back, you know, like
that I wouldn't have too much of an issue, is if Verna is using the stand up as a way to get her takedown.
yeah. And see, Verna in the first fight, Mackenzie was not able to take her down. Like Verna's takedown defense was really good. There were periods of the fight where Mackenzie would have her up against the cage and be going for a leg, and Verna managed to fight her way out each time. So I think that Verna has the advantage in takedown defense. Um, so if it goes to the ground, I think it's because Verna wants it to go to the ground, right? Like, I don't think she's going to give up a takedown just so that they can go to the ground, but like she'll stuff the takedown attempts down to like if she decides to shoot offensively, right? And try to take Mackenzie down. But that again, that creates risk because when you shoot for that takedown, you could end up, in a scramble where you end up in a bad position. And Mackenzie Dern, like she's a world champ, dude. Like world champion jujitsu practitioners, this is what they live for. Like you take them down and it's like, boom, they're so quick with those transitions because you have to be. I don't know if you've ever watched like high level jiu-jitsu matches, like gi jiu-jitsu matches, but the pace is ridiculous, dude. Like,
well, yeah, either it's fucking insanely fast paced or they're moving at freaking snail speed.
Because every movement counts. And it only takes leaving your arm inside on one thing or, taking a wrong grip somewhere and all of a sudden you can get submitted just like that. So it's a high level chess match. So yeah, that fight to me is going to be very, very interesting. And obviously I'm going for Verna. I want Verna to win. I think she deserves it. I think she's fought really hard and she's coming off 5 straight victories. To me, she has more of the resume to be a champion at strawweight than Dern does. Like, because with Zhang leaving the division is up in the air, dude. Like, there's not really anybody that screams they should be the champ, right? Verna, you can make an argument for. She deserves it. She's coming off 5 straight wins. She's tough as nails. Tatiana lost really bad to Zhang. Came back, got a victory. I think whoever wins this fight is probably going to get ragdolled by Tatiana in the next fight because I think Tatiana is going to be the first title defense for whoever wins. Although Tatiana versus Verna, I would like to see. Tatiana, I expect she'll have success taking her down, but once you get her down, now you got a jiu-jitsu world champion that you got to try to deal with, But I think that's Verna's only shot is in the jiu-jitsu department. I mean, Tatiana's not the strongest striker, so Verna been on the feet for a while, but the second she starts tagging her up, and I feel like she'll be able to get her down pretty easy. Mackenzie Dern, on the other hand, is a little bit better of a striker, so that would probably be a decent fight too, as long as it lasted. Mackenzie Dern and Tatiana Suarez. Because again, you have a jiu-jitsu world champion that you got to try to finish on the ground. And Tatiana is going to play right into that wheelhouse because she's going to have to get it to the ground, right? That's her. She's a wrestler. She's a dominant wrestler. That's her whole game. So it kind of feeds right into to both of their strengths, right? Can you pull up the rest of the card? I know the rest of the card isn't exactly as exciting, but you know.
You got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista.
Yeah, that fight. Batista is supremely confident, and I'm not really sure why. Like, he really thinks like that he's just gonna steamroll Nurmagomedov, and I don't see it, But stranger things have happened, I guess.
Yeah, and then you got Alexander Volkov versus El Medina.
Oh, Ricardo Almeida. Yeah, Almeida.
Jalton
Almeida, not Ricardo. Yeah, Jalton Almeida. So Almeida is a wrestler. He's a very dominant wrestler, and dude's built like a brick shithouse, man. Like he's like 240 jacked, like linebacker jacked.
So we're talking your old school freaking NCAA wrestler size.
Sort of. I mean, he's
not as much as the farm boy look, more cut.
Yeah, he's built, dude. He's fucking built, bro, and he's a very dominant wrestler. Like his thing is, he's gonna put you on the cage, grab your legs, and he's gonna take you down. And he can submit you, he can ground and pound you. He's a very dominant grappler. So whereas Volkov is more, he's well rounded, but he'll definitely have a disadvantage in the grappling, but he'll have an advantage, I think, in the striking, in the technical striking. But Almeida hits pretty hard too. So I mean, he's not very technically like, he's not a great technical boxer, but he has power in his hands too. Not crazy like Derek Lewis touch you go to sleep power, but enough to stumble you. And Volkov has been in a lot of fights, man. Volkov is like, he's got to have 40 fights at least.
Oh, he's got north of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to have 40 fights. That
he's literally one fight shy away from 50 professional fights.
Yeah, like that's a lot of mileage on a chin, bro. That's a lot of mileage on a chin, and he's been knocked out before.
I was gonna say it's almost like it got brought up earlier. Chuck Liddell with that aging chin that he had.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that bad. It back to like that, but you know.
Yeah, I was just making the reference of it.
No, yeah, I got you. I'm just saying I don't think Volkov is there yet. You know, he hasn't been knocked out several times in a row like that. But yeah, that fight should be pretty entertaining as long as it lasts. So we got some breaking news too. They just signed Ilia Topuria's next title defense.
Against who?
Take a guess.
You're telling me who? Because I'm gonna guess Islam.
No, Islam's fighting Della Maddalena for the welterweight belt. No, Paddy Pimblett.
No shit.
Paddy's getting the shot, dude.
No shit.
And Justin Gaethje is taking his ball and going home. Like, he's very upset, and he's talking about retiring that because he didn't get the shot. But yeah, they just signed it. It's literally, I just saw the announcement. Paddy and Ilia are going. You can look it up. I think it's either the December card or it might be the first Paramount card in January. But it's signed.
Yeah, it's the first one in January.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, this is going to be outstanding. Because, man, do these two absolutely fucking hate each other. Ilia has already whipped a water bottle at him in the middle of a hotel lobby or something like that. Paddy came up after his last win, came to talk shit. Well, it apparently paid off for him.
I mean, dude, the odds on this fight have to be long. Like, I would assume that they're going to be in Topuria's favor by quite a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and say it, dude. Paddy's a live dog in this one, bro.
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely got a shot. And we all know that I love Topuria here.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously picking him to win the sumbitch. But Paddy's a bad motherfucker in his own right. He usually gets rocked in these fights, but that's when we see the jiu-jitsu out of him. Are we going to see the man from the tribe of the Irish that can't get knocked out get his fucking tilt red?
I mean, it's a very distinct possibility. You know, so like, you're a huge Topuria fan.
Yep.
Does Paddy concern you?
Oh, absolutely. Just because of his level of jiu-jitsu.
What I mean is, like, when you're watching this fight, right? Are you gonna be watching this fight like just every second you're watching, just waiting for that Topuria shot, like you just know it's gonna come and you're just waiting for it? Or are you watching this fight like on pins and needles, like, fuck, I really don't know what can happen, like Paddy could win this thing? That's what I mean by does it concern you?
Can I say both? Because
I don't know. I don't know if you can say both. Maybe explain yourself.
Okay. Because we know with Topuria's insane power that he has with those 5-pound sledgehammers for hands and how great he is accuracy-wise with landing these punches, all it takes is one real good connection from him and you're going to dreamland. Paddy, though, he has shown he he can take getting rocked, but what punch that from another fighter may rock you, that punch from Ilya might knock you out clean. But I will say, Paddy does present a hell of a challenge with his jiu-jitsu game in how almost I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the Bushido fighter.
Yuri?
Yeah, fucking Yuri. How he's kind of almost chaos a bit in the ring. Well, he is chaos in the ring. I think Paddy's a bit of chaos in the ring.
Right, but just different because Yuri's chaos is in the striking, whereas Paddy creates chaos in the scrambles.
Yeah,
and that I agree. For me, I say that this fight, I say Paddy is a live dog because I want him to use the same strategy that he used against Chandler. Like, I don't want him to sit there and try to slug it out or try to, what I want him to do is, because Paddy is really long for that division. Like, he's got long legs, long kicks. If I'm him, I want to keep Topuria. I'll point fight my way. I'll sit there and just kick your body and front snap kick you in the chest and just keep you the fuck away from me for 5 rounds, and you'll never touch me unless you rush in, like bum rush me and start throwing haymakers. Then that's, there's not much you can do about that. But then that creates the opportunity for chaos that you're looking for, as to get it to the ground for Paddy. But if I'm Paddy, I'm fighting this fight really long, dude. I'm not giving him any chance to get one of those on my chin. Because I agree with you. I think Paddy's been rocked before, but he's never been hit by Topuria before. And that punch that rocked you before, with Topuria's accuracy and ability to put it right on that dot, I'm not even taking that chance. I'm staying long. I'm staying on the outside. I'm going to kick the shit out of your legs and your body. I'm going to throw head kicks. I'm going to do everything I can to keep you at legs distance from me.
Oh, wouldn't you be a little worried with going for the head kicks like that? That's going to lead for the opportunity to get a stepping overhand?
I mean, maybe, but the distance that you need, Topuria would have to close a lot of distance for that. He would have to see the kick when it's almost not even thrown yet. He would have to know that Paddy's doing it and come in fast to close the distance, right? If I'm Paddy, I'm gonna feint that. I'm gonna feint a punch and throw that kick,
Yeah.
I'm gonna feint a jab and throw that right head kick, or I'm gonna, feint a straight right and throw that left head kick. You think that I'm throwing a punch, but then I'm coming from the floor with it, dude. I mean, anything is possible, but I really think Paddy's key to victory is his length. You got to stay long and just be disciplined. Stay long the whole fight. Don't try to rush in and get him down on the ground, take him down, because you're going to get caught coming in. Let him come to you. If you can sit there and play the long game and just kick, keep him on the outside, eventually Topuria is going to get frustrated. And when he gets frustrated, he's so confident in his power, he's going to say, fuck it. And he's going to throw caution to the wind, dude. And that, because he knows that that's his only chance, right, at that point. And now keep in mind, this is a hypothetical that I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
If Paddy's able to play long and use that strategy for 3 rounds, Topuria is going to come out and be like, fuck it, I got to bum rush him, right? And that creates the opportunities for Topuria, but it also creates the opportunities for Paddy to try to get it to the ground. Now, Topuria can wrestle. So that's, to me, that it's more of an even fight on the ground than it is standing up. Standing up, it's a obvious advantage for Topuria, but I think Paddy can sort of counteract that advantage by playing the long game, like I said.
That
if I was his coach,
pretty much, you think his path to success standing up against him, staying on the bicycle.
Staying on the bicycle, but using kicks. Like, you have to spam the kicks, dude. The leg kicks, the body kicks, the forward push kicks, especially the push kicks. Every time to me, I would be spamming those push kicks, dude. Because every time he gets close, I'm pushing him back, like, to where he's not going to get in punching range with me. You know? And because all of those strikes score. They may not be pretty to look at, they may not be devastating, but they all score. And, you know, I'm playing a point fighting game with him. And until he says, fuck it, and throws caution to the wind. And then that's my opportunity. Like, it's going to be either I'm getting knocked the fuck out or I'm taking him down, and we're going to see who's better on the ground, you know? But if it goes to the ground, if I'm Patty, I'm like, cool. I don't have to worry about getting flatlined. Like, you know, let's just sit here and work from the ground, see what happens. So I think Patty's jiu-jitsu is probably better than Topuria's. I would say most likely. But Topuria's wrestling is pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say Topuria's got a few submissions under his belt there. But you know with Topuria that the thing you really got to be afraid of with him is that dynamite in his hands. That, yeah, he can do some submissions here and there and wrestle, but me personally, I think that's where, if you're going to have a fight with him, that's where you'd want to take it. Because, yeah, you still might lose, but at least you got a shot here to where you almost got to have a perfect fight standing up against him.
Yeah, but I don't think it's impossible to have a perfect fight for at least a few rounds playing that long strategy. Like I said, I think, you know, you spamming those push kicks and those side kicks, I do think that could frustrate Ilya, because Ilya is the type, he wants to fight. He wants, like, come here and let's box. And if you're not willing to engage, you're like, nah, I'm good. I'll just sit here and kick the shit out of your chest. It's going to frustrate him. He's going to get mad. Like, this fucking pussy, he won't fight me. Like, you know? And it's okay. You can call me a pussy. If at the end of the fight,
call me champ pussy.
Yeah, if I'm taking your belt, I'll be a pussy. Like, I'll be a pussy with your belt. So, yeah, I don't have, like, I'm not putting money on Patty, but I think he's a live dog. I think he presents an interesting challenge for Topuria. And let's just walk the dog a little bit here. If Patty manages to upset Topuria, I mean, Patty, for a while, he wasn't getting much respect, right? He had his little following, but lately, Patty has started every step up in competition. People are starting to say, damn, okay, maybe Patty is for real, dude. If he knocks off the Giant Killer, like,
that's a hell of a scalp to put on the wall.
I mean, I feel like Patty will, if he can knock off Topuria, Patty will almost reach that, like, McGregor status, dude. Like, his following will become huge, dude.
I can see exactly what you're saying, just because Patty is a very charismatic guy when you sit there and listen to him. And if you get that hype of beating the dude that's just knocking people out left and right, and usually not even just regular knockouts, like highlight reel type of knockouts.
Highlight reel finishes, dude. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I feel like
got to give you one hell of a freaking boost.
Yeah, a rub. It's like,
on the inverse, what do you think it does for Ilya if he beats Patty? Do you think it moves the needle much?
I think it moves the needle with casual fans. Although casuals already love Topuria, but it's like, you know, yeah, it's a good victory, but people are going to discount it. They're going to say, well, obviously Patty wasn't ready for the big time, you know? Like, Topuria has everything really to lose and not a whole lot to gain. Like, he'll get some respect from hardcore fans who realize that Patty presents a challenge. He'll get some respect from them. But, like, everyone else is expecting him to just steamroll Patty. So it's like, if he does steamroll Patty, then it's like, okay, well, next challenge, right? Whereas Patty, nobody's really expecting Patty to win this fight. So if he wins this fight, it's like when Nate Diaz shocked Conor McGregor, right? Like the whole world was like, what the fuck? except for the people who actually watched Nate Diaz fight before and were like, nah, dude, Nate's a fucking dog. Like, I don't know where you got this idea that Conor's just gonna go in there and fucking steamroll him, but Nate don't get steamrolled, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He might get outpointed. Nate Diaz never loses fights. He just runs out of time. You know what I mean? Like, he's still there in the 5th round. He's still there, and he just runs out of time. And so, Patty, we'll see, man. Like, I can tell you this, when I'm watching that fight, every time Topuria throws a punch, I'm going to be like, because I know it's just going to take one, man. It's just going to take one. So I'm like, Patty, you better be fucking flawless, bro. Like, you better play the long game. You better use them kicks, bud.
Yeah. Like, I do really like Patty because I've grown more of a fan of his over these last couple of fights that he's had. But to me, he lacks it. And when I say lacks, it's just in comparison of that super it factor that Topuria has. Now, Patty does have an it factor, but I think Topuria's, at least right now, is on such a completely different level.
Yeah.
Like, Topuria is going for some major legacy type of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But his whole legacy can get derailed if he loses to Patty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. So, with this being pretty much, nothing to gain for Topuria and everything to lose, does this feel more like one of those old school grudge matches where he said to Dana White, "I don't give a shit, give me this fight"?
I think so, because there were other contenders that might have been considered more deserving, like Armin. Although Armin kind of screwed himself with that whole pasta incident, but like, Armin is the number one contender. Armin should have been fighting. Gaethje could make an argument. There's a couple of guys who could have made an argument ahead of Patty, because Patty, realistically, like, the highest contender he's beat is Chandler at like number 8 or number 7. So yeah, it does feel a bit rushed for me. It does feel like I think Patty should have had one more fight in the top 5 before fight in the top 5 and won that one before giving him the shot. But it kind of feels to me like the UFC doesn't really believe in Patty. Like, they don't want to match him with a guy because they're afraid he's going to lose and then his marketability is gone. So that it's like almost like they're cashing him out now against Topuria, Like, let's fast track him to the title shot. He'll get creamed, and then it's like, okay, well, at least we got our money out of the, we hyped him and we got our money out of the Topuria Patty fight. But I think they're underestimating him. I think Patty's a live dog, dude. I definitely feel like he has a shot in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of, we're talking about all these cards coming up, but last week, you and I were talking about it, and we decided, let's do for the last little 20 minutes of our show, we're going to do a segment on the White House card that's going to happen in June of next year for the 250th anniversary of America. So Ken and I decided we were going to put together our dream card, right? Like, what is your dream White House card for this 250th anniversary of America, right? So, Ken, what's your main event for that?
Oh, I whiff-waffled a little bit back and forth on which one I'd have as the main and the co-main. But give me Alex versus John Jones for the main event.
Yeah, that's my main event as well. I think it's the fight that makes the most sense, money wise, to cash in on both of their
And
legacies.
especially, yeah, and especially after such a dominating performance from Alex, hey, you got to think that this is going to have super crazy hype because this fight was already almost a foregone conclusion before Alex had lost. But now that he had such a dominating thing, you think that this is going to inject a bit more to it than what
Yeah,
it even would have been.
I agree. The only thing is, you and I both, obviously, this is a fight we want. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
so sure it's going to happen. Dana, they just asked him the other day, and he was like, "Look, since John Jones retired, and we announced that this House card was happening, John Jones has not stopped calling me, saying he wants this fight, he wants this card, he wants to be on the card." But Dana's like, "But I can't rely on John Jones." He's like, "He showed me, with this whole Aspinall thing, like I can't rely on him. So I want, if I'm going to put somebody in the main event on this White House card, I want somebody that I can rely on." And the name he threw out was Conor McGregor. He said, you look at a guy like Conor, he's like, he's fought hurt, he's fought on short notice. I've never had any problems getting Conor to fight, right? So it leads me to think that Conor might actually be, if not the main event, he'll at least be on the card. And Dana made sure to point out that Conor is in the testing protocol right now. So that's cool because Conor is on my dream card. He's just not the main event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it's the co-main for me.
it's actually the third fight for me, but yeah. So go ahead. So we got Alex and John Jones is the main event.
I was gonna say I got to hear what your co-main is because if it's not Conor, I'm wondering what fight is this going to be.
It's another super fight. It's Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison.
Okay.
Amanda has always shown up. She's
Mm-hmm.
always, she's just the type of person that Dana is looking for this card. And that's a huge fight. It's pretty much for Amanda, it's women's GOAT status cemented. Like if she beats Kayla, I don't think there's any doubt at that point, right? So I'm going Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. I think that's an excellent fight, and I think it's an excellent co-main event. And it's a tough defense for Kayla's first title defense. What's your co-main? I bet I know what it is, but
yeah, it's Diaz versus McGregor for the co-main.
yeah, Diaz McGregor 3 for the co-main. I don't have it as the co-main. I have it as my third fight. I have it as just under, only because it's a bigger fight, right? It's a bigger fight than Nunes versus Kayla, but you can't have that title fight not be a co-main event.
Okay, because I was looking at it as Conor might put up a stink if he's not the co-main.
I'm sure he would.
In that case, well, enough of a stink to where he wouldn't fight on the card.
It's possible. But we'll go ahead and we'll give Conor the co-main then. We'll say Diaz McGregor 3 is the co-main. The third fight of the night is a title fight. It's Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes for me. What about you?
I already alluded to this one earlier in the show. You know what super fight I want? Is Ilya and Islam. And with Ilya fighting at the beginning of the year, that'd still give him enough rest time to get there for this fight. And like you had brought up, Islam fights what, in December or November?
Yeah, Islam fights next month, I think. He fights Jack Della Maddalena. So if Islam wins the belt, and right around that time for June would be his first title defense. And then Ilya coming off a successful title defense against Patty, Ilya could drop the belt and go up to fight Islam. It's an excellent fight. Excellent fight. But does Islam take the fight? Or does he say, hey, I want a belt at another weight class? I'm done. I'm retired.
Or does he go full John Jones and say, you know what? Screw it. I think I had enough. I'm going to go home.
That's what I mean. Does he just say, like, I've had a great career. I won belts in 2 weight classes. Like,
I don't think there's any way that he can and keep and maintain his legacy.
Yeah.
Because there's already the rumors that he ducked Ilya before.
Yeah. But then there's the issue for me. I'm telling you, it's an issue for me. Ilya does not look like a 70. He does not look like a 70-pounder, bro. Like, going up that much weight, I just wonder if Islam doesn't bully him at that weight, dude. Now, he'll always have that one-touch eraser, right? But I just wonder, at that weight, does Islam bully him?
It is very possible, but we also saw from his last move up in weight class, it just made him all that more powerful.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we could still get the same effect. Now, granted, I know there's a cap to that.
Yeah. Eventually, you're going to move up to where that power isn't going to carry up.
Yep.
But I don't think Ilya is going to move up that far. I don't think he's not fighting at 85, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. He's not going in there giving up 40 pounds in weight, dude. Like, because an 85er is going to be 205, right? Like, not to mention the height advantage, the reach advantage. Those guys are monsters. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to take one of the really good 85ers, like Sean Strickland? Are you going to put Sean Strickland in there with Ilya? That's going to look like a mismatch, dude. You're going to put Dricus in there with him? Like, come on, man. Like, there's weight classes for a reason, bro. I like Topuria, but he's not beating Dricus, bro.
That's why you say you heard me say that I think he could do the 170, but I said there's a cap.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a cap, and I'm just laying out what that cap is. That cap is 170. He's not going up past that, dude. If he does, he deserves to be the greatest of all time, hands down. If he could actually go up to 85 and win, well, that's crazy, bro. As small as he is. Mm-hmm. But so we both agree on the main event, right? You have Conor and Diaz as the co-main. We will both agree. We'll say Conor will throw a fit. So Conor Diaz is the co-main. I have Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. You have Islam versus Ilya for the third fight.
Then why don't we have Amanda Nunes and Harrison be the opener for that? That'd be a hell of an opener.
Yeah, but you'd have to have another title fight then. Like, if you're having a title fight as an opener, that's like.
I mean, we're talking about a once in a lifetime type of event.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me if Dana White did some type of booking where it's all title fights, or at least, if not all title fights, all these major draw fights.
Right. So for my fourth fight, I'm looking at Brady versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Like, they're two of the top contenders at welterweight. Can you pull up the welterweight rankings? I think Brady is like number 2 or number 3, and Shavkat, I think they put Bilal Muhammad at 1, but he shouldn't be number 1. Shavkat should be number 1, but Shavkat's going to be back in February, right? Like, he's already in training. They haven't announced the fight yet, so I say just hold off, get fully healthy, and fight at the White House card. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I got the rankings pulled up. And Bilal Muhammad is number 1, Brady is number 2, and Shavkat is 3.
See, I'm saying Brady versus Shavkat, 2 versus 3. It sets up, and you have Ilya versus Islam on that card, so it sets up the next title fight at welterweight perfectly, right? Whoever wins that fight is undoubtedly the next challenger at welterweight. So I think that would be a fantastic fight. Brady is an absolute monster. He's an absolute wrecker, dude. Like his grappling, his offensive wrestling and grappling is just bar none. It's second to none. But Shavkat is an impressive grappler, and Shavkat is just he's kill or be killed, man. He goes in there. He doesn't want to go to the cards. He's in there like I'm gonna finish you, and that's why that fight is like so interesting to me.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a massive fan of Shavkat Ramonov, just for that reason of he's willing to take those chances, and you can't argue against him taking those chances because this shit has worked perfectly for him so far.
I mean, he did have a very close fight against Ian Machado Gary, though. We have to give Gary credit. Gary like had his back. He had him in real trouble in that fight. And there are some, I mean, I think the majority gave the fight to Shavkat, but there are some who feel like Gary kind of got robbed and that he should have won that fight because of how much time he spent on Shavkat's back. They felt like he was in the most dominant positions in the fight. And they have an argument. So, but Gary is already signed. Like him and Gary is fighting Bilal Muhammad next, which that's going to be an excellent fight too. I don't like Bilal. I don't like his style, but it's hard to argue with its effectiveness, right? Like Bilal is very good at what he does.
That brings up something that I constantly say on these shows. If you don't like it, stop it.
Exactly. So yeah,
I know it's a boring ass thing too, but it takes a lot of skill to be able to do it.
Yeah, I have Shavkat versus Brady as my fourth fight. What do you think for a fourth fight?
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't get into a fourth fight with it.
Just give me one. Just think about a fight that you really want to see.
Oh.
It doesn't even have to make a whole lot of like, as long as they're not 4 weight classes apart. I mean, it's a fantasy thing.
Oh. You know what? If we're gonna just go out here crazy with it, and you'd have to make something special for it, because it would make no sense for a champion to fight a non-champion for it not be the belt. But give me Yuri versus Aspinall, just because Yuri goes out there fucking crazy.
Damn, that's a tough ask, bro. I mean, if anybody could go up in weight.
You see what I mean with that?
Yeah, I'm not saying you're nuts. Like Yuri's definitely big enough that he could fill out to heavyweight, because he cuts to 205. So Yuri could do it. It's just wow, that would be a crazy fucking fight, dude. Like you get Yuri's chaos in there with Aspinall's fucking technical ability and dominance. Like Yuri would have to be able to create that chaos, but could he do it? That's the question, right? Like, could he? And Yuri won the belt at 205 already. Like, so it would make him a 2-division champion if he was able to knock off Aspinall. I'd have to favor Tom. What's up? I'd have to favor Tom, but Yuri's a live dog. Yuri's a live dog in that fight for sure. So for my last fight on the dream card, it's a grudge match. They really don't like each other. I'm going Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland for the 185-pound belt.
Absolutely. Sign me the fuck up and take my money.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Khamzat has been incredibly dominating with his grappling, right? But Strickland is very, very hard to take down. And his technical boxing, he just doesn't allow you to do a whole lot. His takedown defense forces you and play the jab game with him. Like, we're just going to sit here, jabs and kicks for 5 rounds, dude. Like, so can Khamzat's offensive wrestling get Strickland to the ground? Can he do it? if he does, I'm going Hamzat, right? Like, if he can get him down consistently, I'm going Hamzat. But can you imagine the stand up part of that fight? Because Hamzat can box, Hamzat has power, but Strickland is so technical, right? And Strickland isn't without power. He may not have that crazy one punch power, but Strickland can bust people up too. Look remember when he rocked Adesanya and had him almost out of there in the first round?
Mm-hmm.
Strickland has power. Like, for me, that's a fascinating fight, and it's a grudge match because, like, dude, Strickland has been talking big shit about Hamzat for a long time now, and Hamzat's like, dude, like, let's fucking fight. Like, why are you still talking? Like, let's fucking fight, you know? And now Hamzat's the champ, and Strickland. You pull up the 85 rankings real quick. I'm almost positive Strickland is like the number one contender. It might be Dricus, but
Ooh, Dricus is number 1, and Imavov is number 2.
oh, they moved Imavov up to 2.
Yeah, and Strickland is 3.
Okay, well, it still makes sense. It's a grudge match. Strickland is number 3, so it's not like you're 9 guy a fucking title fight, right? Like, Dricus is coming off a loss, like, to Hamzat. I don't think anybody's in a hurry to see that fight again. Like, you know, we need to give it some. I'm not saying that Dricus can't come back and fight a better fight the second time, but I think we need to give it some time. Let that marinate a little bit, you know. Let Dricus get back in the lab, work on his defensive wrestling, see if he can present something different the second time. But Strickland versus Hamzat, to me, it's a no-brainer. And that's the opener. Like, that's the opening fight. Bro, that's a banger-ass card right there.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't bitch about that. I'm a big fan of grudge matches in any type of combat sport with boxing, MMA. I like to see that little bit extra added to the fight, to where you don't just want to beat the guy just to show off skill. You want to beat this guy because you can't stand this sumbitch.
Well, that's Strickland versus Hamzat. So how about this? Like, you were talking about Islam versus Topuria. You want that super fight, right?
Yep.
But Islam is not guaranteed to beat Jack Della Maddalena. Like, Bilal Muhammad is like a 170-pound version of Islam, right? Like, and Della Maddalena, because of his training with Craig Jones, he was able to fight off the takedowns and force Bilal to stand and fight. So, I mean,
but I think Islam's a decent amount better on his feet than Bilal.
Yeah, I mean, but all I'm saying is this: if Della Maddalena beats Islam, do you still want a super fight between Topuria and Della Maddalena? Because I actually think that's a very interesting fight too.
I wouldn't be against it, but I really want to see Topuria with Islam.
Right, but if Islam loses,
if that can't happen, sure, sign me up. But it's one of those that it's very close, but not quite.
Or how about if Islam loses to Della Maddalena, it's his first and only fight at 170. He goes back down to 155. There's no shame in going up weight, losing to the champion, right? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't harm his legacy all that much. But now he comes back down. Remember, Islam gave up the belt to go up. So Topuria took over the belt in that interim time. Maybe we get Islam versus Topuria at 55 instead of at 70.
I don't care if you give it to me at 10 pounds or 5,010 pounds. Give me the fight.
Well, with that said, we're out of time, dude. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, subscribe if you're on an app that allows you to subscribe, and spread the word, man. We'll see you guys next week. Ken, you got anything to say before we go?
Yeah. Other than thanks for watching, and we will see you at the same time next week.